take one look here. It's located in an area we call median sinus, and it's bigger when you are young. 2 years old, you weigh about 40 grams, and 50 years old, swing to 12. And when people get into 80, probably only had 2 grams. Okay. Had two major lobes and casual cover outside. And many lobule is different from the lymph nodes. I would like to show you the structure first. Yeah, I think in the lab we had model show you the sinus. This area called medium sinus area is on the top of the heart. Okay. A lot of aortic arch is behind it. Okay. It looks like 2 lobes, and center part is a little bit narrow. And here you can see that's on the surface you can see a lot of lobe here, a lot of lobe here. Okay. All right. And then each lobule, each small one called lobule, and right side is called lobe. The lobule have one cortex, one medulla. I'll give you quickly look. One of my students took this. We cut it. We see a lot of lobule. It's one lobule, and outside is cortex. Cell is more dense. This one, the other cortex, the other lobule. Inside medulla. The other lobule you can see outside cortex. This one is medulla cortex. This one you cannot see very well. This one is medulla. Okay. And this cortex. And we at least have one idea is the immature T lymphocyte move to where? Move to cortex. To the cortex. And because it is our own cell cannot recognize by immune system, so in the cortex we don't have blood vessel. And in the medulla we have blood vessel because the mature T lymphocyte have to send up. Right? Okay, now go back to the slide to tell you some term. Every lobule have one cortex, one medulla, and cortex in that area we had immature T lymphocyte, and surrounding by reticular epithelium cell. Reticular epithelium cell is the endocrine cell in the sinus. They can produce thymosin. Reticular epithelium cell in the cortex. Okay. But unfortunately, reticular epithelium cell also located in the medulla. I just put REC. Okay. In the medulla is form a circle, and we call it semi-corpuscle, like a circle, and all discovered by Dr. Hazel, and we call Hazel's corpuscle. It is modification change from epithelium cell, and the function we don't know. It's from a circle there, and inside there they have blood vessel, they have mature T lymphocyte, and they have macrophage there. Okay, so a little bit thing I do clarify is REC is located in both cortex and medulla, and in the cortex is endocrine cell produce thymosin. It also will form a barrier we call blood-thymus barrier, prevent this immature T lymphocyte detected by immune system, and then they produce antibody against it. And in the medulla area, they also had REC, but they form a circle called Hazel corpuscle. They had blood vessel there. They contain mature T lymphocyte. Okay, so these two areas are a little bit different. The function, we're talking about major function, we locate the cortex. The function is to protect its immature T lymphocyte from a blood-thymus barrier. And the function is produce thymosins. When the maturation of the T lymphocyte. Two major functions. And medulla area, they don't have this barrier, so they have blood vessel and they have mature T lymphocyte. So I probably would like to see this old textbook will show you that this is a lobule and there's a blood vessel there. Okay, cannot see very well cortex, medulla. Okay, and this the new edition also show you on the bottom is one lobule and here the other lobule, and you can see there's a cortex darker color, and center part is medulla. Okay, there's cortex and medulla in the center. But this one will come back later. I still prefer this one. It shows you cortex medulla very clear. And then if we look the medulla, if we amplify it, you can see some pink color. It's not blood vessel, and that is Siamese corpuscle, or we call hazel corpuscle. And the cell in the medulla here is mature T lymphocyte. Stand for a little bit lighter color, and the darker color is cortex. You can see the borderlines right here, just like this. The borderline here, darker is cortex, and here's medulla. And this one and this one, and one of students took this picture for me. This is cortex outside, and there's a medulla. It forms this corpuscle, and here's corpuscle. So when you see a circle, you know, oh, this one is medulla. And they have mature T lymphocyte. And this one's cortex, immature T lymphocyte. Okay? And then we go back to this one. In the medulla area, if we amplify the Siamese corpuscle, you will also see the reticular REC, reticular epithelial cells surrounding it. And this one is circle. Stand for pink color, kind of unknown function. Okay, something like that. Something in the center. Okay. All right. So from this one, it different from the different node is different node has only one cortex, one medulla in the center, and this one is many lobules. Each lobule has individual cortex and a medulla. Okay. And small, this like a pentagon or hexagon structure has a lobule. And this one we cut it from the young kids, so it's much better than get it from adult. All right, so that's the one. Probably in the lab you identify the slide. The next one, the third one, we go to the organ, the spring. Spring is located in the left side. Outside is a little bit left side, the left side of stomach. It connects to stomach by a ligament called gastrosplenic, stomach. Take a look at this. That's stomach. That's spring right here, and the cross section you can see this side in the right side is the liver and the stomach and spring, and connect by a ligament here, connect together, and very close to this one, very close to pancreas. Okay. And on the back side, they had the blood vessel move in and out. We call hilux or hilum, and it's looking like that. That's on the back side of that. Okay. Now, if we cut it, and we see some island, darker color, and red, background area. Okay, so in the spring we divide to two major areas. Red pulp is the all the other background area, and the white pulp is like islands, and the artery in the center. Okay, And what is this two function? So spring actually, all the lymphatic system recycle lymph all this circulation. They all go through the lymphatic system. But the spring is not through the lymphatic capillary. It's through blood. Okay, so the blood circulation. If blood has bacteria or virus, then how we can detect it? We detect it from the spring. Okay, we detect it from where? We detect from white pearl, and so it contains major cell is lymphocyte, B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte, and some macrophage. They also have B cell, dendritic cell. We are also called antigen presenting cell to show respond like a police to the immune system. What's the red pearl? That's related to our chapter 19. Red blood cell circulation, recycle, or turnover is swallowed by macrophage coming from the monocyte and then cut down alpha chain, beta chain, the heme group, and iron ion. And that's chapter 19, that's in my exam first. And so it majorly is recycle all red blood cell. Okay, the function. And so the spring has two functions. Is immune system for blood circulation for any pathogen, and also is recycle like a manufacturing company and for all the old red blood cell. Okay, so I will show you cover more slide. How we call white pearl. Okay, this one is opening area, blood vessel in and out. Like this spring, okay. And when the artery moves in, there's a splenic artery coming from celiac trunk. Then first have branches and go to this area a little bit wide, the stem of the thigh. So we call white pearl. So in this area is the place for immune system. Check any bacterial virus or any pathogen or fungus. And then they have special capillary called sinusoid. They allow big molecule to go out, allow red blood cell to go out. And the blue color here, they go to the venous system. And we call it red pearl. That's because it's for recycle, swallow red blood cells. So same a little bit red color. Okay. And then it go to the splenic vein. It majorly carry alpha chain, beta chain, cut down to amino acid, take out this iron ion, and then go to the splenic vein. Okay, and so it has two functions. One is for immune system. One is for red blood cell recycle. And if we look at it under the microscope, it is the white pearl. It looks like isolate because when we cut through this cross reaction. And then in the center part, we will see a blood vessel. Okay, now they are amplifying it. And then you can see that is a pearl. And in the center, a little red spot here should be blood vessel. And the background area, either connective tissue or red pearl. Here, this one show better. It show you white pearl here, and center part as artery here, center artery. Okay, and this background area. This one Dinesh showed very good quality. There's an island. There's a white pearl here. Okay. Yeah. You can look at it under the microscope. Okay. And several years ago, I had a lab practical. I showed a slide here and to a student and asked them what does this look like. Okay. And one guy answered, pizza. Pepperoni pizza, a lot of pepperoni. Okay, very smart. Okay, the white part is here, and there's a background area, all tomato sauce. Okay, that's red pearl. Okay, this is just pizza. Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe it's good. Right. Now it's a pizza. Okay, maybe the guy is so hungry. Okay, and they were so hungry. All right. So look at pizza. Okay. All right. That's one. Okay. Look at pizza, okay? let's say more about this. So the blood pathway is what? From ciliate trunk, go to the splenic artery, go to the hilum, the entrance area, go to the white pulp here, and coming out, there's a central artery. And then go to the capillary area, there's sinusoid, there's special big hole allow red blood cell to come out, protein to come out. And that area is dominated by what? Macrophage. Okay. Macrophage will engulf, swallow, or red blood cell, and then send to a small vein, venule, and then send to the hilum, send to splenic vein, and then where you go? Hepatic portal vein, hepatic portal vein, okay, not directly to the heart. And spleen is the largest collection site of lymphoid tissue because there's so many white blood. So if I ask you what part of our body and most of the lymphoid tissue, okay, the lymphocyte, the answer is spleen. Okay, the function is what? Okay, one is immune function. Initiate immune function responsible by this T cell or B cell. They can also produce this big antibody. But two major functions: recycle red blood cell and can store this iron there and can remove it. And not only red blood cell, all the abnormal cell or fragment, the old cell, they can take care of. They all take care of by macrophage. Okay. So in this part, that's why I mentioned that in the red part, you highlight macrophage. Okay. And in the white part, you highlight what? Lymphocyte. B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte. Take care of pathogen. Okay. So spleen has actually both functions. Very special organ. Now, one question some student asked me: if someone lost the spleen, can this person survive? The answer is yes, but very difficult. I knew one case is one guy had a car accident because the seat belt and smashed to the spring, and the spring completely become a mess. Okay, not to say I cannot put it back to the normal organ, so just cut it out. And when they cut it out, you lost what? Red blood cell cannot recycle. But what organ will take care? Liver. Liver can do that. Immune system a little bit lower activity if some infection in the blood circulation. But we still had this other lymph nodes, everything. So still okay. But this person had to be very careful if had any infection, had to take the antibiotics or doctor treatment quickly. Without spleen, the person still can survive. Okay. The major function is lost, the red blood cells recycle. Okay. But the liver will enlarge, but still can work. All right. Let's continue to go down. That's the one I mentioned. Oh, sorry about that. Exam 2 is coming. Okay, just remind me. Worried? Okay, sorry about that. Advertisement. I will mention it later. Okay. We have two systems. I just mentioned it. The old called non-specific little memory or specific. And you will call it innate or adapted. Actually, I don't like it. Okay. Non-specific, we have 7 of them. One is physical barrier, one is some pathogen and swallow. One is NK cell, one is chemical interferon, one is a complement or we call C protein. One is the inflammatory response, one is fever. Okay. Let's take a look at this. I still have some time. The first one is physical barrier. Skin is one, hair, epithelium cell, mucus, acid on the surface. I'll show you the figure. I like to show you. Okay, the first one, non-specific. Okay, we do have skin here. We do have hair. They can secrete something on the surface. Okay, and the skin outside, we also have a protein to cover it. So that's physical barrier. So bacteria and virus cannot go directly from us. If I touch bacteria, they cannot penetrate. Okay, but one place we lost the protection, and where is our lips and opening of reproductive organ or the anus. We lost that protection. The second one is phagocyte. I mean, can swallow it. And we have three. Okay, neutrophil, eosinophil, and monocyte. Monocyte become macrophage. All right. So that go back to that one. That pathogen is from three types. We divide to microphage and macrophage. Phage means eating. Okay. There's small eater and a big eater. Small eater will be neutrophil, eosinophil. Okay. Macrophage will from monocyte, and some would call it reticular epithelial cell. And the macrophage could be fixed, could be free moving around. The fixed can be located in the bone, in the central nervous system, in the brain, in the liver, we call Kupffer cell. Free moving around, and majorly in the lung, okay, we call alveolar. And here I want to say something about the microglia. It's a cell, special cell in the brain, in central nervous system. That's what extracellular. It is the cell, all the cell in the brain, we have 10% neuron as a nerve cell. 90% supporting cell we call neuroglia. And we have different types, astral, microglia, ependyma, oligodendroid. I think you all know this from MP1, right? Microglia is the one we focus. In the central nervous system, I just mentioned that we don't have lymphatic vessel, but we have a cell there. It's a microglia. Microglia coming from where? Monocyte. Monocyte, and the function is they can phagocytosis. They can eat. They can swallow this bacteria in the brain. You also can release a chemical called cytokine. There's a chemical that can kill the pathogen, and I will show you from MP1. Okay, guys. This one is from ventricle, cerebral or foraventricle that has produced CSF. Then you can see that is neurofiber. There's an axon. There's a neural cell, and there's a long axon. And you see some like spider cell there. That's microglia. Is coming from monocyte and locate there. They don't have lymphatic vessel, but they can locate there and swallow bacteria or virus. Okay, so that's very special defense in brain. Okay, why I put this here? As one year MCAT question asked me this one. Yeah, we asked microglia coming from what type of cell? Multiple choice. Answer monocyte. Okay, and monocytes belong to what? Macrophage. Macrophage. Okay, that's one. And this cell not only swallow bacterial virus, you also can release chemical. All this microphage or macrophage, they can attract other cells to go to the lymphatic area by chemical released from all this defense cell. And this chemical, this function we call chemotaxis. Chemo means chemical, right? Taxis means attract them to come. And if you cannot memorize this one, you just think about you go to the New York and you say taxi. Okay, someone will come. Okay, T-A-S-I here. The car will come. Chemotaxis. chemical compound, and that's the meaning. Okay. Probably I stop here. Okay. Yes, it takes some time.
Yeah.
All right. The coming chapter will be very interesting. I hope you don't miss the next lecture. Okay.